Okay, hi. How's it been? My microphone is way over there, so I don't know how this is going to sound. Oh, it doesn't sound too bad. Okay, hi. Oh, okay, then we're good. Just doing a quick check on the phone. Hi, everybody. It has been a hot minute. Um, life. Life, y'all. Life got in the way. So, happy February. I know I have the cool, like wintry landscape going on the last day of February. We're finally able to use it. It's fine. It's fine. I'm trying to decide if I should lower the camera a little. Or maybe I just get closer. That seems weirder. Anyway, doesn't matter. So here are the bookcases and the bookshelves. I'll do a quick, if I can remember how. Is it that way? Nope. This way. Here are the shelves. Oops, stuck on the bench here. But here are our shelves. I'm very, very proud of the tops. It's where all of like the nerd stuff lives. This is really hard to do. There we go. There we go. So now you can see the nerddom in all its glory. Try to get that back to where it was a little bit. There we go. Okay. These are the bookcases. I am in love with them. I'm also planning to get more and put them in that corner of this room. This room is technically my kids' playroom, but they don't use it as much as we thought they would, so I'm going to take the other corner. Because right now there's nothing in the corner, so I can put more bookcases. The idea is to do another corner one like this, and we'll do that. So have basically this right here. Long, short, long. It'll be really cool once IKEA gets them in stock. That'll be really cool. But I wanted to talk about a few things. So many books happened. Let's see. I think the last time I was able to go stream was before my birthday. So first of all, hi, I turned 33. Yay me. Then everything happened. Everything in the world just like went crazy. So I read 155 books last year. It was awesome. It was great. Blew my 50 book goal out of the water. It was not intentional. It's just what happened. So that's cool. This year the goal is 75 books. Now when I make book goals, mine are like the number that I put are new books to me. I don't count rereads in my goals. Not because I don't think they count, but just because that's me. For me personally, I only do new books. New ones. So, 75 books this year, and I'm already at 31. And it's February, so I might have to up the ante a bit. However, life is also getting crazier now, whereas January and February weren't too bad, and I had like time. Don't really have a whole lot of time going into March, but we're going to try anyway. However, okay, I want to talk about a few things. Number one, though, number one, I am now a permanent rep for formerly Creative Chaotix. She is now Fandom Glass. This is one of the glasses. I mean, I have so many. And I discovered one of the other reps put flowers in one of hers for one of her pictures, and I was like, oh, genius. Genius. Utter genius. So I have now put flowers in all of my bookmark holders. All of them. They all have flowers in them. But I need to go through, because what I did was I went to the dollar store and I got a whole bunch of like, bouquets of little flowers, right? Like just little bouquets. And these are great and everything, but I have discovered that I think I like them better when they're separate, so I can put other colors in and not have to worry about trying to squish them. So there's that. This book, this says I'm the bear. No, I'm the bringer, bearer, and executioner of my own fate. This is a book that is coming out on March 8th. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited! I'm on the street team for this author, C.L. Breyer. It's for Storms of Chaos and Shadow. It's awesome. It's awesome. I've already pre-ordered my copy. It should be here very, very soon. Oh my gosh, my children. There are toys in here. Oh goodness. Oh yeah, and my drink. I get the peppermint bliss as a chai with chocolate milk and super light ice. Oh, it's delicious. Delicious. So I'm a permanent rep for Heather Shop. So I will have that in my bio. I have it in my Instagram. I have it in my Twitter. I have it everywhere. But I'll make sure to have it here. And you can use my code Unicorn10 and you can save when her shop is open. She's actually doing a restock on Friday. Well, that was fortuitous. On Friday, she's doing a restock and she'll have a bunch of new stuff in there. It's fantastic. I'm so excited. Okay. Where to start? You know what? I know where I'm going to start. Hold up. We're going to start with two of my absolute top reads already of 2022. Yeah, that's this year, right? Okay. 2022, this year started off strong in my ARC game. So I get my ARCs from NetGalley. It's a free service. You can sign up to do it. And then you request the ARCs, and sometimes you get them and sometimes you don't. I think I've requested, I don't know, easily over 100 ARCs, and I have reviewed, I think I'm up to 75 now. So, you know, it's a decent amount. I ended up getting an ARC for The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea. This is a Korean retelling of one of their myths. I forgot what the myth is. The sea god, I guess? It's got to be the sea god because that's what it is. Anyway, this follows Mina as the book starts out with her and her brother's like not necessarily betrothed but like love of his life, and the love of his life is supposed to be sacrificed to the sea god because every year a maiden is sacrificed to try to appease the sea god so that the storms will stop and life can go back to normal. Oh my gosh. So at the last minute, Mina says, forget it. No, I'll go instead. She jumps into the water and tries to become the sea god's bride. And it is this whole adventure. It's amazing. Love it. It's very Spirited Away vibes. Absolute love. Absolute love. So this is the US cover. There is a UK cover. This is by Axio. I actually ordered this one from her indie shop. Her indie bookshop. So mine is signed. But I'm telling you, I was 20% through this book and I immediately went and found her on Instagram, went and pre-ordered it. It is amazing. The Asian authors did not come to play this year. This is my Asian author shelf. I know it looks bare, but I'm going to end up with two editions of Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea, and 4 editions of Daughter of a Moon Goddess, which is this one. Daughter of the Moon Goddess. Oh my gosh. First of all, she thick. Look at this. She is a thick mama jamma. Words cannot describe how good this book is. It is a retelling of the Moon Goddess, the Chinese myth of the Moon Goddess Chang'e, and this is about her daughter Xinjin. I can't even describe how amazing this book is. It is adult fantasy. Oh, and that's more like a YA versus adult. It's a young adult. So it's a young adult. Very cute, amazing, loved it. This one's more adult, and not more adult in like sexual content. It's just adult in theme. It's adult in theme. There's a lot more violence, there's a lot more nuance. And by violence, I mean like war. It's like a war. Shinjin's journey is incredible. It is absolute insanity. I absolutely loved this. I loved it. I loved it so much. I got it on Audible the day it came out because I was like, I can't wait for this book. So this is the UK cover. The US cover is beautiful. It's blue and it has Shinjin in the front with her bow. Anyway, it's amazing. Let me tell you how I'm going to end up with four editions of this book. I'm going to end up with four because I pre-ordered a copy from a small shop that does painted edges. And I thought, I'm going to want this book because I just love the way it looks and it sounds really good, but I hadn't read it yet. And I thought, I'll support a small shop and get a book that I really want. So I did. Pre-ordered that. And that's the US version. Then Sulin Tan showed the UK edition. And I was like, oh crap. I kind of want the UK edition. So Waterstones had this where they painted the edges, this beautiful teal. And I was like, all right, I kind of need this. So I bought this one. I still don't have my US copy. It'll get here eventually, I guess. It'll get here at some point. This book came out January 11th and I still haven't received it, so we'll see how this goes. But then, oh, I'm dying. I also in November I ended up getting approved or like off the wait list for Fairy Loot, the book box. So I finally have Fairy Loot. I'm so excited. It's the one book box that I really wanted in on because I love their editions of books. I think they're gorgeous. This is the February book. So this book is the book that they're doing in their February box. The February box has shipped, but it's not here, and I'm dying because what they did is they take the UK covers of the books and they do a different like riff on it. I'll show you why. Actually, I wish I had one to really show. But this is the Fairy Loot edition of Jadefire Gold. Have I read it? No. Will I read it? Absolutely, you bet I will because I love this and I want it. So the regular UK edition is actually orange and yellow. Or orange and yellow. It's orange and yellow, and this is pink and teal, as you can see. And look at that stenciling on the edges. Isn't that gorgeous? And then it's painted on both sides. And this one, it does. Has embossing on the cover and a reversible dust jacket. Or I guess it's not a dust jacket. This is just artwork. This is artwork of the book under the dust jacket. It's really cool. And every Fairy Loot edition comes signed by the author or like a book plate or something. So that's why I really like Fairy Loot, and I'm very excited about this. I'm getting too short. Getting too short. So, Daughter of Moon Goddess, I will end up with 2 UK editions and 2 US editions because I haven't received my US edition yet that I had pre-ordered a long time ago. I saw another small shop that's doing painted edges, and my friend is a rep for that one. So I said, you know what? I'll just order that, and I will end up with 4, and I'll pick the ones that I like, and I'll keep those, and I'll get rid of the others. I don't know. I am not one that likes to have multiple editions of a book, yet I will have 4 of that one, and I'm not necessarily upset about it. The Daughter of a Moon Goddess is also part 1. Part 2 is coming out this fall. Warrior, Sun Warrior. Oh, I forgot what the title is, but Sun Warrior is in it. I am so excited. I cannot wait for this other book to come out. I am dying. I hope Fairy Loot does an edition. I hope Waterstones does an edition. I'm hopeful for all of the good things. All of the good things. Okay. Ooh, let's talk some indie books that I've read recently that I haven't been able to talk about because I haven't been on. So, I got an ARC for this book through NetGalley, and it was the week that we went to Disneyland. That's what we did for Christmas last year, was we gave our kids a trip to Disneyland. You don't get much sleep when you're at Disneyland with kids. I read this while we were on vacation. That's how much I loved it. It was so good. I love this book. I love this book. As I was sitting there in the hotel room in like the middle of the night reading this book, I had to have it. So I went on Amazon and ordered it so it would be there when we got home. And it was. And then I found the author on Instagram. I probably should have done that first. What I need to remember to do is go to the author first, because every now and then they have their own editions of their books that they have signed, and the money goes to them. They don't have to go through Amazon or Barnes and Noble or something like that. So I'm trying to do better. I'm not remembering to go there first. But I found the author, and she was selling book plates, and I was like, perfect. I want a book plate for my book because I love this book so much. It's so great. And let me show you. I am telling you, indie authors have this uncanny ability to make the most beautiful books. Like, they are gorgeous. First of all, I mean, come on. Look at this. It's absolutely stunning. It's beautiful. And I think this is book 1 of, well, it is book 1, but I think it's book 1 of 3. I think she said it was going to be 3. So, also, on the end papers, we've got our 2 main characters. This is Raina and Alexis. And Raina is mute. So she signs in the whole book. She doesn't speak at all. She signs. Well, she doesn't physically use her mouth to speak. She speaks with her hands. It's incredible. I absolutely loved it. Now check out this naked cover. Look at this thing. It's beautiful. And the spine. And hold on, I gotta use my other hand. And look at that. Those are wolves, by the way. Wolves. Wolves. This is incredible. And Carissa is like the sweetest person alive. She is so kind. She is so nice. When I ordered the book plate, I ordered the Tree of Life one. So here's the book plate, so you can put it in wherever you want, but it has her signature on it. And when I ordered it, it was out of stock. Like, she had run out. She had just run out, and so she messaged me, and she was like, I am so sorry. I saw your order, and I'm out of those book plates. I can send you the other one if you want, or if you're okay to wait, and then it's just like a week. And I was like, I can wait. It's not a big deal. I'm not in any kind of hurry. And so when she sent me the book plate, she ended up sending me a little like art and a bookmark, and it was just so sweet and so kind. It was amazing. Yeah, I absolutely loved it. So that was like a moment for me. It was really nice. Oh. Okay. I also read Guild by Raven Kennedy. So, oh, there's people. Who is that? I can't read. Hold on. Oh, hey! How are you? Sorry, my computer is all the way over there because I don't have like a desk out here. So hi, how are you? I miss you. Anyway, so I read Guild and Glint and Gleam. This is a King Midas retelling. I was promised a lot of things with these books, and while they didn't deliver on what they promised, they were good. Let me explain. These books are marketed as smutty books, raunchy romance with fantasy and like whatever. And I was like, okay, I'm down with that. Then I read it. There is no smut at all whatsoever until 1, maybe 2 scenes in Gleam. Now, if I hated it, why did I buy the special editions? It's because I didn't hate it. It was false advertising. That's all it was. I love the story. Thought it was really good. Why am I bending down? Oh, bending down, yeah. It's because it's way over there. Because I'm a dork, and it's way over there. But yeah, so I loved the story and Auren, her journey of self discovery and self worth and self love, and realizing that she's way more than what Midas can give her. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna try to scoot the computer over a smidge. Hold a second. Oh goodness. And the lady book. Sorry, it's loud for a second. Okay, that'll be a little bit easier. The lady, that's funny. The lady book. Oh man. So I did also read. I'm gonna move that. I have a lot of books I read that I didn't talk about. So, okay. Talk about these two books, but let me do that one last. All right, I read Tricky Magic by L.L. Campbell, and I'm going to give you my honest review. I don't think this was edited well enough. For how much I paid for it, I feel like there should have been more editing involved and had someone catch the few big plot holes. Or not even like huge plot holes, just kind of annoying ones. Um, it's a beautifully designed book. Now, this is her paperback. She has redesigned a hardcover, and she has like a special edition. I will not be buying it just because I still think that it needs to be like I still think it needs to be edited and fixed. But one nice thing about her, well, about a lot of authors, that they're starting to put trigger warnings in their books, which I absolutely the best word, which I absolutely love. I love that they're doing that now. And now trigger and content warnings specifically should be for violence, sexual assault, sexual abuse, verbal abuse, manipulation, things like that. It does not need to include same-sex couplings. Okay, that is not a trigger. Oh my word. And if it is a trigger, then you need to like figure yourself out, because no. Oh, but the whole point, let me tell you what this book's about. It's a witchy book. That's why I got it. I love witchy books. Witchy books are my fave. I don't know what it is. I love them. So I got this because the girl in the book, she is a trickster witch, which nobody knows what to do with. And her parents are like these evil witches that were sent to like an Azkaban kind of place. They were sent to witch and wizard prison. Um, oh yes, love trigger warnings. Trigger warnings are my fave, because then you know what you're getting into, and if you don't like what you see, you can let it go. Um, they, yeah, her parents' infamous attempted destruction, like of other people, not of themselves. So her powers are a little bit out of whack and out of control, and she doesn't know how to control them really, and she's scared of them because everyone around her is scared of them. So she spends most of her life angry at other people, and other people are angry at her. So she decides to take a time out and like go somewhere else. She goes to this family cabin, and she runs into their really sexy Rossier, who is a prince of hell, more or less, and he's half demon, so it works for a witch. But here's my big but. Um, the book the, the book is fine. The book is fine. I gave it a 3.5 stars because some of the sexual content I was like, ugh, this is not my thing. But the other part was that she kept forgetting some of the plot that she was giving, that she was doing. Uh, there's a point where he doesn't know her name, but she knows his, kind of a thing. And in his point of view, I just keep thinking about that witch. I don't know who she is. I wish I knew her name. Blah blah blah. And then two sentences later, and then I saw Eliana or Elia the other day, and I was like, but you don't know her name. Like, we know her name, but you don't know her name. And that happened multiple times before she was told, or before he was told what her name was. And that was one of those things where I was like, ugh, if you hadn't made such a big deal about the fact that he didn't know her name, this wouldn't have bothered me, but it kind of did. So, other than that though, it was a really good book, and I definitely want the second one because I want to know what happens, and I'm invested enough that I want to continue reading. It was just not exactly what I was hoping for, but it wasn't terrible. So a 3.5 out of 5. 3.5 out of 5. This one took me completely by surprise. I asked for it on NetGalley, started reading it there, and when Barnes and Noble did their like big 25% off all pre-orders deal, they included this book, and I was like, well, for like $11, I'll buy the book. I was already reading it and kind of enjoying it. Thought it was really good. Oh my gosh, it was so good. Second star to the left. Ha! It's a Tinkerbell and Hook retelling. And it was so good. I was so surprised at how much I liked this book. So surprised. Because I'm a Disney fan. I'm a huge Disney fan. You all know this. I'm staring at my Disney lithographs on the wall behind the camera. And so to think of Hook and Tinkerbell just makes me look like it makes me want to vomit a little bit. But this was so good. It was so good. I loved it. I loved it so much. And because I pre-ordered it, a lot of authors will do pre-order incentives where you pre-order their book, you provide proof of purchase, whether it's like a screenshot or you can send them an email or whatever, and they'll have like a form you can fill out, and then they'll send you what they call pre-order incentives. So sometimes it's a book plate, sometimes it's a bookmark or artwork or a pin or I mean, it could be anything. It could be really anything. So Megan did a book plate, which is awesome. So I have a book plate, and she did some artwork and a bookmark and a sticker. I think it was a sticker too. And does that sound like everybody's cup of tea? No, but I loved this book. It was so good. I'm pretty sure this is a standalone. I'm 99% sure. There's like potential if she wants to write more, but she doesn't have to, because you could just read Peter Pan. Just trust me on that. You could just read Peter Pan. And it was really good. I really enjoyed this one. The steam is good. It's a good spice. It's not like super spicy, but there is some. And I enjoy that. I enjoy spicy books. I think they're delicious. Spice brings the flavor. So that on Instagram. Yes, it's so good. You, sir. We need some Tinkerbell art. I'm just saying. Need some Tinkerbell art. Tinkerbell and Hook. Tink and Hook. Okay, what else we got? What else we got? Well, I mean, I've got lots. I don't know. What did I even read? I don't even remember what I read. But let me show you. Here's another Fairy Loot book. I have no idea if I'm going to like this or not. Only a Monster. This was the book that came in the January box, and I just got it. I have no idea if I'm going to like it or not. The back says, don't forget the rule. No one can know what we are, what you are. You must never tell anyone about monsters. But I like the edges. Like, I think the edges are cool. I have no idea what it's about. Something about monsters and a monster hunter, I think. I don't know. So it has potential. Some of these books I've never heard of. Some of these books I've heard and I'm super hyped about. Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea will be the March book for Fairy Loot, and I am beyond excited for that. So 2 of my favorite books this year, and 2 of them are getting Fairy Loot editions, and I'm excited. Where were you? You were down here. Oh. I know. Okay. So I read a whole bunch of contemporary romances in the last little bit here. You know what? We'll just go with these 3 for now. And they're so fun. I love contemporary romances. Listen, you're getting what you're asked for when you read a romance novel. You're gonna get a happily ever after. That's kind of the criteria. You're gonna get some hey Tay, you're gonna get some headbutting and whatever, and there's always gonna be like one big blow up, and then they'll get back together by the end. Romance novel 101. Okay, so all of these have that. This one cracked me up. This is the hookup dilemma. Kills me. It's hilarious. This one's really spicy though. This one's got a lot of spice. Sport. Okay, the funny thing, my friend is a huge sports romance fan. She loves hockey romance specifically, and she's writing a hockey romance specifically. But I heard about them at my baseball podcast. Ooh! Oh, I read one. I think it was one of the Christmas ones I read that he was a baseball player. But now I can't remember. They all start to blend after a while because they are essentially the same format, just different like things. Ooh, okay, yeah, LGBTQ. Woo! I need more of those. I don't have a lot of those, and I didn't realize I didn't have a lot of those. At least not physically. I have a few on my Kindle, but I don't have as many as I thought I had. Because I've read a lot, but I don't own them, so I need to own some more. Hookup Dilemma's hilarious. This is about she lives in the neighborhood that he's trying to develop, and they have they have a hookup where neither one of them knows who the other one is. Then he shows up at the meeting for the neighborhood that she lives in, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, he's that super hot guy that I had a hookup with last night." And anyway, shenanigans ensue. It's adorable. Finally, something to think about that. Yay! Hey, listen. I will read basically anything. No, I lied. Let me take that back. I will read anything fiction. I don't like nonfiction. That drives me up the wall. I can't. I just can't. Even historical fiction I can do. Regular like nonfiction, no thank you. This one, Ramon and Julieta, sounds exactly like it is. It's a Romeo and Juliet retelling with tacos. It's so cute. They meet on Dia de los Muertos, and his papa stole her mama's taco recipe like 80 years ago. Okay, not 80, but like a long time ago. He has a huge empire because of it. They are a struggling restaurant. He buys up the street that her restaurant is on. You can kind of guess where this is going to go from here. Super cute. I absolutely loved it. I read it in like a day. It's super cute. Super cute. Loved it. This one was fun. The Love Con. Because it's cosplay. It's a cosplay book. So Kenya. Nope. Kenya. There we go. Kenya is on a Project Runway, but specifically for cosplayers, and she's in the finals. It's her and this other guy, and the last challenge, they have to go home and do some sort of cosplay with their partner. Now they did that because the other guy is married, and so he and his husband do couple cosplays all the time, right? And so she's like, crap, I'm single. So this is her best friend. Wait, what's his name? There he is. What is his name? I always forget his name. I tend to remember like one character from each book. I remember what happens, but I don't remember names. Cam. So they're partners and have been best friends since they were in like middle school, and they own a shop and they do cosplays for other people, and like he prints all of the stuff and what have you. So she, on live television, is just like, yeah, my partner Cameron and I, like, we're gonna blow you guys out of the water. And then she's like, oh crap, that made it sound like, oh shoot. And so it turns into the Love Con, where they have to pretend like they're dating. It's for her to win the competition. It's adorable. It's cute. And it's silly. It's silly. If you haven't read the Well Met, Well Played, Well Matched books, all by Jen DeLuca, those are awesome. They are Renaissance Festival books. She has a fourth one coming out called Well Traveled, which I'm excited about because I'm curious where she's going to go with this. Let me think. No, read all those. Oh, okay. Here's one that caught me by surprise. Ooh. Should I have been surprised that it caught me by surprise? Probably not. But I have been dragging my feet to read Crescent City by Sarah J. Maas because you could, actually, I don't know if you can see, right above where you can see, I have an entire shelf that's just Sarah J. Maas books. I have all the ACOTAR books and all of Throne of Glass. Throne of Glass is my favorite one of hers. And I've just been dragging my feet with Crescent City. I tried listening to it like a year ago. Yeah, because it was right when Silver Flames came out. So it was about a year ago. I tried listening to it, and I was just like, "This isn't it. Like, I don't like this. I feel like it's weird because it's an urban fantasy, and I am so not used to an urban fantasy, and it was weird. It was like too. It was too weird. I wasn't. It wasn't enough engrossing and taking me out of my own space. However, I got roped into reading it. Well, I've been told by multiple people that I need to read it, but I got roped into reading it because of a buddy read that I was doing with a couple other friends, and the second book just came out like 2 weeks ago. So, yes, Throne of Glass, woo! Manon, she's my favorite. Oh, I just kicked it. Sorry, Manon is my fave. She's my favorite witch of all time, and she will forever be favorite. So I went into reading Crescent City with absolutely no expectations whatsoever, and I was pleasantly surprised at how good it was. Like it was really good. And I'm going to say something that not everybody agrees with. That not everybody agrees with. I think Sarah J. Maas, while she's great, is like super overhyped. She is so overhyped. You know, like she's a decent writer. She's a decent writer. She writes really good books. She's got good like instincts and things and what have you, but her stories all tend to kind of follow the same pattern. Now, I'm going to say this about her 3 series though. The 3 series are very different. Yes, Manon is bae. I love her. She's my bestie. She is my ultimate book bestie, and Aelin too, because Aelin and Manon are like the same without being the same. I love them. But I have this theory. And I might be wrong, but this is my theory. Throne of Glass is a story. It's like a Lord of the Rings kind of thing. There's one main character that has to go through this crazy journey to get to this climax. Then there's a big battle, and then it's kind of over, right? So like you're building for 8 books. You get to book 8. There's the big battle. There's all this stuff, and then like it ends, and you have a nice little package. Whoop, done. And that's Throne of Glass. It's one character going through a bunch with a bunch of other characters coming in to help, right? Very Lord of the Rings kind of feel. In the like epic journey thing, Lord of the Rings is a little better written. And I love Lord of the Rings. So anyway, then A Court of Thorns and Roses. Each one of those books you could technically read on their own and not really miss anything because they go back and kind of explain things so many times. And each one of those is a love story. That's all A Court of Thorns and Roses is they are love stories. And it's great. Like there's an overarching kind of plot, but these are love stories. The first one is a Beauty and the Beast retelling. The second one is a Hades and Persephone retelling. I want to say Wings and Ruin, somebody said was like a Snow White. And I was like, I don't know if I would go that far, but some people think that, and I think there's like an element of it with the mirror that she has to look at, but other than that, I wouldn't really go Snow White. But they're all love stories. ACOTAR is about Feyre and Tamlin. Mist and Fury is about Feyre and Rhys. And then Wings and Ruin is also Feyre and Rhys. And Silver Flames is Nesta and Cassian, right? So it's like they're love stories, which is awesome, and it's great. It's a great story of love, and like love conquers all, blah, blah, blah. Okay. It's adorable. I still love those books. Silver Flames was a bit much sometimes. Because ACOTAR started out being marketed as a YA book, and it never should have been. Never should have been. All of Sarah J. Maas's books are adult books. Okay. No matter what you hear, they are adult books. Please be watching what your children read. Okay, because none of those books should be in the young adult section. They should be in the adult section. Personal preference. There's enough sexual content in these books that I'm thinking if they were in the YA section and I was reading them, I would have been extremely uncomfortable. Um, even if you know that kids are doing worse than what you're reading, like you still don't want to hear it or read it. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, yeah, you've heard. Oh yeah, Feyre and her sisters. Yes, thank you. See, this is why Josh is here. And so Crescent City. So far, I haven't read the second book. This is based solely on the first book. Okay, based solely on the first book. But based on that book, it seems to me to be a story about friendships, deep, committed relationships that have nothing to do with romance. There is romance, but the overarching theme is friendship, familial relationships, taking care of each other, kind of a thing. It's not really a love story, it's more of a friend story, and soulmates that aren't romantic soulmates. That's the vibe I'm getting. I have no idea because I haven't read the second book yet, so I might be totally off. But at the moment, that's what I feel. Yeah, so poor Josh. Silver Flames is a lot. There's a lot of sexual content, and she took that book to a completely different era for the rest of us that were so used to how she wrote the other books, and this one was just very much different. And granted, it's being told from Nesta's point of view, but anyway, I don't want to talk too much more about Sarah J. Maas, because again, I think she's very overhyped, and there are so many other books. But I did like Crescent City because I went into it expecting literally zero. Literally zero, and I really enjoyed the end. The end is insane. The last 12% of that book is just boom, 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 boom. So many things happening, so many emotions. I haven't cried that hard in a really long time. I was also going through some things, so I don't know how much of that was the book and how much of that was just my emotional state. But yeah, I loved Crescent City. Oh, you saw spoilers? Oh, geez. People are terrible. They're terrible with spoilers. I accidentally spoiled something for myself, but all I saw was one word, so I might be okay. I was stupid, and I was checking how many pages it was, because I had the original first edition of Crescent City, which is skinny because it was on that different paper, but the spine was broken anyway, so I had to get a new one, and now it's thick, just like CC2 is, and I was like, why are they so much thicker? They're the same amount of pages. Anyway, I was an idiot. So I saw one word, and I don't know if it was a spoiler or not. But I was like, oh, shoot! Anyway, it was terrible. Terrible, terrible. Yeah, CC made me bawl. It was good, though. It was a good, cathartic, it was friendship. I loved it. Okay, where I had... Hold on, I had one popping in my brain. Give me a sec. Wow. See, it popped in, then it popped right back out. Oh, I know why. It's on my Kindle. Hold on a second. That's why I couldn't find it. Because I'm a dork and forgot to have my Kindle out here too. Sorry about that. Okay. Ooh, yes. I've got some really good spicy ones. And not spicy. Oh, well. I was extremely lucky, and I got an arc of Wild as the Witch. You can't see that. There we go. Wild as the Witch from Rachel Griffin. She wrote Nature of Witches, which is one of my favorites. I loved it so much. And Wild as the Witch was so good. It was so different and yet not. Rachel is very into nature and into like the connections of stuff. Oh yeah, yeah. I ran into that problem when I got because I have the Nerdy Ink alternative dust jackets for the ACOTAR books. I ran into that problem where I was like, I ordered the original editions, but these are still fitting a little wonky. But anyway, so Rachel is very into you connect with nature, your magic comes from nature, that kind of thing. And so the nature of witches is incredible, and it's about Clara, who's an ever witch. Okay. Wild as the Witch is about Iris, who has anxiety, by the way, super like hyper anxiety, which was awesome to read about because as someone with anxiety, it's just nice to see, like representation in the book, although it is also annoying because you're like, you don't need to be that way because you feel that way about yourself. But anywho, I love Rachel. I love Rachel. She's amazing. And this book is about Iris and her mom, who live in the Pacific Northwest. They live in Oregon, and they moved there after living in like Nebraska. I think it was Nebraska. I don't know, some flat land place. They moved to Oregon because of an incident that happened with Iris's best friend. The best friend did something, and these people all assumed that Iris should have stopped it. And she's like, I tried to stop it, but they didn't care, kind of that kind of vibe. So they move there, they open a wildlife preserve because both of them, their affinities for magic are with animals. So they're able to understand them, help them heal, and so they run this wildlife like preserve. And they take or rescue. They bring in the animals, they heal them, they recover them. Recuperate? Help them recuperate, and then they send them back out to the wild. It is incredible. She has this owl that likes to just mess with her, and the owl is a very sacred animal. Like this particular owl is very sacred to the witches because this owl is an amplifier. And what Iris likes to do is when she's upset, when she's angry, her grandmother taught her to write curses down and give it to the earth. Is what she calls it, where you have herbs, and then you curse the herbs and you burn the herbs away, kind of a thing. So like you did your curse, you're giving up those feelings or whatever. Well, the owl happens to swoop in as she's doing a curse, like a curse towards somebody that she's really upset with. The owl takes on the curse and flies away with it. So she and the guy that she was cursing have to go and find the owl, and it is just, oh my gosh, it's so good. The one tent trope. It was good. It was really good. It was really cute. It was really soft. It was really, yeah, not soft. Like it was just, it kind of wrapped you in a blanket and made you feel good. And it was, oh my word, I loved it. I loved everything about it. It was amazing. Then I found this book thanks to my friends because they know that I need more things to read apparently. But they sent me to the Dreamland Billionaires on Kindle Unlimited. I have to laugh. So this is fine print, and this guy's name is Rowan. It's basically a Disneyland romance. Without being Disneyland, they call it Dreamland. It's hilarious. It's hilarious how similar the theme parks are, but like obviously it's not, or Disney World, excuse me. It's not Disney World, but it is. It's set in Florida. There are creators instead of Imagineers, and like, oh my gosh, it's so fun. It's funny. I loved it though. It was so good. You need to send me character descriptions. Oh, yes. I will take screenshots and send them to you of Iris and the owl because oh my gosh. But this one was funny. These are spicy. No. They're like, gosh, I've read way spicier, but that doesn't mean anything. The deed is done and there are descriptions. So there you go. But it's pretty vanilla. There's not much adventure, if that makes sense. My spice scale is weird. And maybe one day I'll go over the spice scale, but I don't want Twitch to take me down. So, but fine print, and then the second one is terms and conditions, and then the third one I think is coming out later this year, and it's three brothers. It's about three brothers that are inheriting this theme park and the company behind the theme park. So it's really cute. And their names are Rowan, Declan, and I think it's Callahan. Now that I'm like thinking about it, I think it's Callahan. But they're funny. Then I read an arc for... No, dang it. I keep doing that. An arc for Addison Arudell's next book that's coming out really soon. And we all know how much I love Addison Arudell. Now, you want racy romance. This is racy romance. I love her. I love her so much. Her book Stolen is coming out, I want to say the end of March. I think it's the end of March that it's coming. It's so good. It's a frat boy and a sorority girl, and they're the presidents of their houses. It's their senior year, and chaos ensues because she makes an offhand comment that he's really offended by. So in retaliation, he steals her diary, kind of an opportune thing that he happened upon. He steals her diary, but then the diary is stolen from him and being published publicly. So they have to then work together to find her stolen diary. Shenanigans. This one is a spicier one because there's a little more adventure involved. But one of the next ones that she's doing is a male on male. Male on male? MM. An MM love story, which I'm like, bring it. All for it. Because love can be anything. I don't care as long as you're not hurting people. You do you, boo. So anyway, that's the latest, and that was pretty long. We're going on like an hour now, so I will stop now because I can just keep going. Because like I said, I read 155 books last year, and I'm already on to 31. I'm starting my 32nd. Ooh, Twisted Love by Anna Huang. Woo! That's like a bully romance, which I'm not really sure is like my thing, but I read that one so that I could read the other two. Because I like Twisted Games. That's the second one that I'm reading right now, and that is it's a bodyguard and a princess, and there's an age gap. It's not a huge age gap, but it's an age gap. And then the third one is like enemies to lovers. So I'm excited to read those. Though also my friend Julith sent me those. She is like the smut and romance queen. So when I need recommendations, I always go to her. And she was like, you need to read these. She sent me to the Twisted series first. And then as she was reading Dreamland Billionaire, she's like, girl, listen, I need you to read these. And then I read fine print in like a day. So I trust my friends and their recommendations 99% of the time. Every now and then they hit a dud, but it's not their fault. So happy Monday. Also, listen, my house is silent. It's the first time it's been silent since like November. There's been a lot going on personally, and there's a lot. There's a lot going on. The current climate that's happening right now is just, it's very scary. Just, when you can, hold your loved ones close. And with Ukraine and Russia specifically right now, and Israel and Palestine that have been happening, and Yemen and Libya and Syria and all of these places that are being just completely torn apart by terrible people. Sometimes it gets a little heavy. And I think that's why books are such a good means of escape. When I need to center, when I need to ground and center, books are where I turn. I turn to books to help me not spiral. I also turn to therapy, but just with everything that's happening right now, while yes, it's important that you take care of you, um, we're part of a global community, and we need to remember that. And as much as we possibly can, we should be giving voice to those that are dealing in the conflict and helping those that are in the conflict as much as we can humanly do from wherever we're at, however we are, and whenever we are in our journey. Like, I don't have a lot of money, but I have space, I have time, um, I have social platforms that I can share someone else's perspective to, which I know sounds kind of dumb after I just rambled for an hour about books, and now I'm like, okay, now I should give up my space for somebody else. I realize how that can sound, but it's true. Um, so just, I don't know, just be a good human, you know, be a good human to other humans, and, you know, keep your loved ones close. Life's too short. Life has become, it's always been too short, but it has really become too short to hold on to grudges. Boundaries are different, just so that's clear. Like, you keep the boundaries you need to keep, and you need to get rid of the toxicity that you need to get rid of. But petty little things, you know, you don't need to hold on to those. Anyway, that's just my little wisdom for the day, I guess. But have a happy Wednesday, or Wednesday, it's a Monday. Oh my gosh, I'm already in Wednesday. Have a happy Monday. Have a happy week. I hope this week gets better. I hope that the leaders around the world find solutions, and that we are able as a world to kind of pull together and continue building a better world together. So have a happy, and I will see you guys whenever I get the chance to do this again, which hopefully will be a lot sooner than 4 months. Oh my gosh. Thanks, guys.